click on that comment and watch that video for context. I did a video a few minutes ago where dickless naked mole rat, Stephen Miller, tiny Nosferatu Nazi, took time away from his micro penis support group earlier this evening to appear on the Will Kaine show and talk about members of the military apparently are not permitted to refuse illegal orders from convicted felon and adjudicated rapist Donald Trump. Stephen Miller never served in the military. Stephen Miller never had the balls to volunteer to serve in the United States military. Stephen Miller, who basically his entire family has disowned him because he's Jewish, his family's Jewish, his family fled the Holocaust to come to the United States, and Stephen Miller, who has been angry, I mean in an absolute fucking rage, angry about brown people in the United States since he was 14 years old, never gathered up his cojones and sacked up to serve in the United States military. And now, what is he, 39? And he's completely fucking bald? I'm 57, dude. I'm 57. I'm 57 years old. Stephen Miller is completely bald and never had the balls to fucking sack up, volunteer, and serve in the same United States military that saved his entire fucking family from Nazis. And he's out here fucking cosplaying as Joseph Goebbels and is dictating to the United States military, which is comprised, because we don't have a draft, the United States military is comprised of 2.1, 2.2 million Americans who actually fucking volunteered to serve. And this fucking bald ass 39-year-old dickless naked mole rat Nazi is dictating to members of the United States military who actually fucking sacked up and volunteered to serve this country and put their lives on the line. And this bald, tiny Nosferatu, 5'3" Nancy boy is dictating to members of the United States military which orders they are allowed and not allowed to obey. I mean, I know that being an incel and having a podcast is popular these days. Look at Tim Pool. He's also bald and short. He's bald and short, like Stephen Miller, who is also bald and short. At least Stephen Miller has the fucking balls to appear on camera without wearing a beanie, Tim Pool. These fucking pussies who are terrified of literally everything. Stephen Miller fled his home last month. He fled his home with his family. Stephen Miller fled his home, a $3.7 million home in Alexandria, Virginia, which is now on the market for sale because somebody wrote something mean on the sidewalk in front of their home with chalk. Stephen Miller is going to dictate to members of the military which orders they're permitted to obey and which orders they're permitted to disobey. Stephen Miller, who never fucking volunteered to serve in the United States military, who is absolutely fucking terrified of sidewalk chalk to the point where he grabbed his family and they fled a $3.7 million home in Alexandria, Virginia. And now Stephen Miller and his family live in military housing on a military base protected by the military because Stephen Miller is that much of a gigantic fucking pussy. But he's going to tell members of the United States military who actually sacked up and had the fucking balls to volunteer to put their lives on the line for the United States of America and the citizens of the United States of America to protect their rights under the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This dickless, naked mole rat, tiny Nosferatu fucking Nazi who didn't have the balls to join and serve is going to tell active duty members of the United States military who did volunteer to serve and put their lives on the line for the United States of America what they are and are not allowed to do. I honestly don't think I have ever seen a bigger, whiny, coward little bitch than Stephen Miller in my entire fucking life. Stephen Miller is a coward. Stephen Miller is a whiny ass little bitch. Stephen Miller thinks that he's above every single person who's going to see this video that I'm recording right now. He thinks he's better than you. He thinks he is special. He thinks he is exempt from putting his life on the line to serve this country. And Stephen Miller, the dickless, naked mole rat, whiny ass little bitch, tiny Nosferatu Nazi, thinks that he is above you, members of the United States military, to the point where he gets to tell you, he gets to dictate to you that you are obligated to follow illegal orders from a commander-in-chief who is an adjudicated rapist, a convicted felon, who has cheated on every single woman that he was ever married to. The dickless, naked mole rat Stephen Miller serving that fat, cheating, convicted felon, adjudicated rapist thinks that he has the right to tell active duty members of the United States military which orders they are permitted and not permitted to follow in service to that fat, rancid protuberance of a human being, even though Stephen Miller didn't have the balls to do what you do, active members of the United States military, because you volunteered. Stephen Miller, the only thing that he has volunteered to do is bend over for Donald Trump. I can't fucking wait for Stephen Miller to spend the rest of his fucking life in prison being treated as sexual currency traded for packs of cigarettes and ramen noodles for the rest of his fucking life. Suck my dick, Stephen Miller. I would love nothing more than to rub your bald fucking head while you do that. You rancid, toxic, coward piece of shit. You are a coward. Stephen Miller is a coward. That's why he lives on a military base now with his family, because somebody wrote something mean about him on the sidewalk in front of his home with sidewalk chalk that is used by children. That's why Stephen Miller and his family now live on a military base, because Stephen Miller is a coward and a bitch.